What you looking at? I got a TKO on wherever the fool is at. What you looking at, boy? What you looking at? Got two toolies of my own, I don't need the gat. Hold up, no sir. Step into the mic, bring me closer. Sabotage back in the lab, and to stop that you gonna have to go through both. That swole up. Anytime I pull up the bars, I buck up my shoulders and pour the heart. Word to God, my gears push to start a feature, but my skill set a la carte. Woo! You don't understand. I got something sins in one palm on my hand. Balls are ice rigid and bodies get numb every time I demonstrate.
What up? What up? What up? What up? What's happening, everybody? It's Monday, man, and I'm fired up. I'm ready to go. Ladies and gentlemen, you're here at the Knockout Hour with your boy, the notorious one, the biggest one, your mama loving all that, TKO. And the reason I'm so fired up is because it's another beautiful day, regardless of the rain and all that stuff. Hey, it's another beautiful day to be alive, right? And that's why I'm going ahead and start that show with that positive energy. But anyway, guys, and you crazy ladies and gentlemen that keep coming back and forth every single week. We want to thank you guys so much, and we appreciate you guys just every single week joining in and listening to me as I give my opinions about combat sports. For the new incoming listeners, as the show goes on throughout the hour, know people like to jump in and tune in. Let's see what we got right here. My man, especially Walter, says right here, it says, what you talking about me, bro? Nah, well, I would say that, right, right. What should we call the group? The loyal fans of the show and what should we call ourselves? What's up, Brian? I see you, big dog. How you doing? What's going on, Brian? How you doing? Enter Walter, what's happening, man? We starting off hot today, baby. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, man. Glad you guys are joining in as everybody, these two right here, especially Brian with the 86th airlift. Oh, and they just got back last night. My man, that's what's good, man. I'm glad you're back, brother. I appreciate you guys so much. As I was just saying, man, that's the 86th airlift of the United States Air Force. My man Brian has he been on deployed doing some special things couldn't tell us about. But he's back, man. We're happy to have you back to the show. Of course, Walter and the rest of you ladies and gentlemen that like to listen in on the show. Man, what a Monday. This past Saturday, because I like to get the show going, and we got 17 strong today. That's right, all back in. Yes, sir. Hey, man. See, that's why we're the best. That's why we're number one. United States all day. USA, baby. Thank you guys and ladies. Thank you. We glad y'all guys are back, and I appreciate y'all tuning in. Let's go ahead and get it started. So I'm gonna go ahead and fill you in on my weekend. Yeah, I had to go ahead and go against the undisputed champion. Let's see right here. It said we completed the job, enough said. Yes, sir, for sure. And so, like, man, I had to complete my job this Saturday, and that was wrestling because I wrestled a couple of weeks. Been taking some time off, man. Relaxing, enjoying the little times I can get, and that's being with my family and just getting some time to be dad and do my thing. But had to go against the undisputed champion of BWA wrestling this past weekend in Eden, North Carolina. Had a great show. Um, First, before I talk about that match, though, I want to talk about the crowd and the people out there at BWA. Since this group been around for a long time, so right here we got Walter right here. Speaking of groups, he said we should be called the Knockouts or TKO and his Knockouts. Hey, let's do it. So for everybody out there, we got Walter, we got Ryan, and we got 17 strong right here from the United States Air Force. We got the Knockouts right here. And join us too, because right now, guys and ladies, if y'all keep pushing, keep sharing, keep telling everybody, we're gonna be right ever so close to a quarter of a million strong. And that's because of you guys and ladies out there every single week tuning in. Absolutely. And that's what, man, we're gonna push this to the top and let's see how it go, how far we can go, baby. We ain't like Michael Jordan talking about the ceiling is the roof. Anyway, man. Uh what happened this past weekend at BWA was a catastrophic class 3, where they have an annual battle royal to determine to go against the undisputed champion, uh undisputed world champion that is for BWA wrestling. And so they had me in there for the Rumble, which I think that was a great honor. You know me, man, man, woman, or child that night was gonna take a fade for me to get an opportunity. However, the higher ups pulled me to the side and said, "Hey, the champ's looking for somebody to go against tonight," and they gave me the opportunity to see if I can dethrone the champ. And yeah, it what a match. I'm just going ahead and say that. What a match. Um, just all right. Let's talk about little things I like. I like to share some things, not everything. For me, working out of late, you know, been real difficult. I keep a schedule that's kind of just seems to where don't get a lot of time for the gym. So what I did for this match, preparing and getting my win underneath me, because I know going for a championship match, it can go all night. And I was willing to take it there because for me, being now the Gals Junior Heavyweight champion for at least at this point over 150-day reign and continuing, and it's gonna keep going on, baby. Shout out to Gals Pro Wrestling. Love you guys. As a matter of fact, we got a show October 25th at Ruby Works. We're gonna have a good old time out there. Y'all come out and join us. That's the Halloween show. But for me, man, it's like whenever I get that chance to rise to the occasion and try to dethrone a champion, I give it everything I got. And that crowd out there and that organization giving me that opportunity knew that they had someone that's willing to fight him tooth and nail because Antonio Stevenson is not someone to be played with. I faced that man, I would say about a year and a half ago, one of my earlier matches in BWA, and he proved himself to me, one of the guys that can go toe to toe because I took an early defeat to him. Now he's a champion with his group called Pure Greatness, has rose to the top of BWA with his leadership. I would say that I was willing to take on any and everybody. So, um, what I did for this match is an old school thing, man. I just sat there before the show started, nonstop, just doing squats and push ups and sit ups. That's all I kept doing because at least allowing those squats to get there and get stretched out, get real loose, allow me to be creative, and be able to go the distance for that match without being, I would say, gassed or blown up. And it was real good, man. I paced myself because I knew what would be the best way to attack him. And let's just be realistic. I fell short of achieving that goal and that mission. But needless to say, there's going to be plenty of opportunities at BWA because got word that I'll be able to have some more dates there next year. And that's great because I always enjoy being there in that community with so many good people up there. And not to mention a person like Brady, the owner of the promotion. I'm so proud of that guy. I really am. Ever since I met him, he has worked hard and diligently with a great team, family, and individuals in that community that's giving him opportunities. And I like to put him over in that company because I like to see what hard work really comes to fruition, especially with that crowd. That crowd invests into that company every single show, and I'm glad to just be a fixture there at that promotion. I really am. Right here, Brian said, proud of you staying professional. He said, that's why we follow you. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I really do. Because, yeah, man, I'm really passionate about this game. Even so much that I know when I'm not at my best, I don't seem to want to ask to be, want to be on other people's time, you know? I know there's a lot of great wrestlers out here that look for opportunities every single weekend because that's the way they get by in their lives. So there are some guys and ladies out here that go from show to show, and that's how they pay their rent. And I salute those ladies and gentlemen. I really do. I do. 'Cause I need stability in my life. Uh, I'm at peace with knowing myself, and I know that I need consistency. And I also need my family. I need my girls, my Charlie's Angels, my daughters, my wife, my mom. I'm very close to them, and I just gotta be sheltered with that, with that love. So, yes, sir. And ladies out there, that's one thing about me, man. I left it with everything I had in that match, and I hate the fact that man, I couldn't be an undisputed champion at two companies. But hey, it is like I said earlier. It's gonna be more opportunities. Trust me. But I'm glad that they was able to. appreciate me there. And like I said, love you guys out there. I really do. Beverly, Steve, y'all always good people. Uh, shoot, even the locker room. It's even some people when I see some of the boys in the back, man. I give them the biggest hugs. And shout out to my man Donnie Dollars. I got to wrestle with someone. I mean, not wrestle, give me in the match, but talking to some of the guys out there watching them work throughout the show and exchanging ideas. See, me, I know a lot of people don't like my perspective on things. And again, it's my perspective, right? I'm easily to be like, hey, if you make a fair point, I may be able to change mine. You know, I'm not closed minded to uh, knowing that my thought or my opinion always has to be right. That's ridiculous. Nobody in this world is that correct about their life. Heck, me and my wife earlier was arguing. All right, help me with this debate right here. Since we're talking, help me out with this one. All right. So if your daughter or child is getting a want to go to the DMV, let's say they passed the school test and they was able to drive and got the accredited hours. When they go to the DMV and they take the road test and the eye test, and let's say they're 15, is that a learner's permit or a driver's permit? Because me and my wife had a nice conversation. And like I said to her, and I'd say to a lot of people nowadays, because I could be able to, again, realize that I'm wrong if I'm saying something wrong, is that I believe that it's a driver's license permit. That's my understanding. Because if you already took the time to learn how to drive, then theoretically, you will take the driver's test to get the eye test, and then you will have a driver's license permit. Now, I could be 1% wrong. That's fine. It's nothing to be a big argument about. But if y'all can help me out, let me know. I know it's 18, 19 people at least right now listening to me. Y'all can do a debate. I don't know, but to help a brother out. 'Cause I need to know the truth about this one. So, because I got two daughters that's actually right now in the process of be on the road. So everybody out there in Alamance County, I please recommend you stay in the house. My two babies are gonna be on the road, so I need all y'all to stay off the roads as fast. Get off as soon as I was playing. I let my oldest drive our car. We took some time recently to let her drive. She's on the road now and she's doing really good. I'm impressed. She's listening very well. Uh, and I think that's the cool part. Some parental advice for a lot of people out there that's struggling to say, hey, my kid won't listen to me. Try this. Just just see how it works. See, a lot of times our kids don't like listening to orders or follow directions because as all adolescents, we think that we was the most darling teenager or everything was sweet when we wasn't. So the thing I've been learning in my mind, it's probably an easy concept that a lot of people have done. Act like as if they came up with the idea and it's a complete thought, right? All right, check this out. Let's say, all right, let's just pull a random suggestion. Let's say your kid wants to buy a shirt for $100, and you think that $100 shirt was not is not a good idea to buy because they can buy maybe two or three shirts that would equal $100. So instead of saying no in that direct way, why don't you say, hey, I would suggest this. How about you would say, and then go that route. If you say a suggestion or put it in a context of where it could be a thought in their mind to say, hey, maybe that works, then I promise you the results will probably it will come around in your favor a lot more often. Just try that out. All right. So enough about me and what I've been going through. And thank you, knockouts out there, fired up for the show. Let's play a song from OC from NC. Let's go with the Immaculate Constellation, and we're gonna get to some combat news.
Couple more plays, we about to stop making them. Couple more days, we got to drop weight for them. So stuck in my ways, we about to stop way. So stuck in my ways, we back in stock. Baxter Stockman, fly on the wall, watching a rock band. Locked in, a locked in, making sense now. Niggas that play both sides got off the fence. I'm convinced when you play those rhymes, you not convinced. Not when this I design like if Plato rhymed. Took a trip out west just to say those lines. One stop in Texas, my only play no rhymes, cause they know I'm timeless. NC's finest, do rewind this. B-Town, but me and B started out with some weak crowds, but look at us, peak now. Look at my week now, I'm weak now. Wait, like it's hard being discreet now. Brand new Jordan 5, see my defeat. All the time pain turning to rhyme, see my defeat. Whatever's out of control, you off the lead, off the beat, nigga. Fish, still tugging, still thugging, still going, chill dugging. Been a long road, niggas will turn on you. Hey, it's been a long road, still tugging, still thugging, still going, chill dugging. Been a long road, niggas will turn on you. Hey. Slid up to the hill on the Honeydale. 3 bad bitches on a Hollowell. My, think we got her. Baby, let me grab the wheel. Too much attention on it. You only hear from 10 to 2. What's the tension on it? Just meet me after in the room. What's the tension? Make sure your friends hang around for the legend. Don't get found in my mentions, babe. Don't get found in the mentions. Cause you'll find it massive pimpin'. As profound as the Simpsons. Bitch.
All right. That's my boy OC from NC with a song like that, The Immaculate Constellation. If you like that song and enjoy that, go ahead and check out Project 25. And yeah, man, if you or ladies or gentlemen out there saying, hey, I would love to get my song played right there on the Knockout Hour, it's very easy. Just hit up my email at iconprowrestling.tko@gmail.com. And we're back. And I'm sitting there excited. I was checking out a couple of messages from some people I love in the business that's getting opportunities right now with the WWE in Raleigh, North Carolina, because Monday Night Raw is actually live. As we mentioned last week, that they are been adjusting for the past couple of weeks to test out and see how they would do if they moved the hours because of Monday Night Football. Now, the thing is kind of ironic. I see that now it's the third week. It's kind of funny how they have Monday Night Football, excuse me, has a doubleheader again tonight, which I think is like they really can't hit and miss on this right now. So we'll see what happens with that, as well as later on in October when they go to Perth in Australia, the times will adjust as well because Australian time, Monday night Monday Night Raw, excuse me, and SmackDown's time will be adjusted to like 2 o'clock to 1 o'clock in the afternoon, possibly in the United States, or at a different time. I have to check on that because I was reading on that, but since we had a little bit of time, I was like, shoot, let me still looking at make sure I get that right and make sure that's official. But yes, we're gonna get ahead and get to some of this combat news. But well, excuse me, before we get back to the combat news, speaking of combat and battles, we're gonna talk about Dallas Cowboys and the Green Bay Packers real fast. How about those Cowboys? I'm a Cowboys fan, and I understand. Here comes the hate mob, and that's cool. I really don't care, right? I really don't. Whatever makes you feel good about your NFL team, please feel good about that. Because trust me, I'm not going to waste my time looking at your team. I can care less. But I would say that what a game! I was excited. What up, Cuz? There we go. What's up, Cuz? I love you. Hope you're doing all right. And so it was what an exciting game of American football. It was really good. So fired up off that. I'm also tired this morning. I was walking a little slow because a lot of people wanted to complain about it being a tied ball game. That's why the NFL did that. Do you understand that on the East Coast? Because Dallas in the state of Texas, that game ain't start till 7:30, not 8:30 over here, guys and ladies. So you just relax. That's why they have that reason because the way that game was going, it could have went all night. As terrible as the defense has played and both the way the offense has played, we don't know what the score could end up being. All right. But yeah, I thought that was very exciting. Really quick, we're going to go ahead and answer this right here. It said the big surprise when we returned was the NFL. Wow, there has been some crazy games, especially the coast. And yes, you're absolutely right. Danny Dimes out there, or they calling him now Indiana Jones, is out there dealing. That's what I like to call dealing, cooking, chef's hat. Even though they lost yesterday, I think he did an amazing job. And for a lot of people out there, this is almost like a wrestling thing too. I wish people stop putting one moment on a whole game to say that that one individual play or that player lost the game. That's where it comes in as a team or unity, right? It's us. Their job is to entertain, just like I am as a performer. And I think that that's what we need to realize. These guys are out here competing at a high level. They don't hate each other, right? It's just the camaraderie of being professional athletes. So people be well advised that Dak Prescott and Micah Parsons don't hate each other just because on different teams. All right. And yet, even as a unit, squad, whatever you are joined to, as you would say, is your team, and you united, even though one person, even your strongest person on the team, sometimes still needs the support of the others. So you're absolutely right, man. There's a lot of surprises that I've seen, and Danny seems to be the guy for Indianapolis right now because he's taken that team and said, "Hey, even though our the first QB one is down, hey, I got you guys. Let's go." And I'm liking it. I'm very surprised. There's a lot of good football going on early in the season, and let's just, I'll drop a little football in here every now and again because I love me some football. I'm a big man fan. But yeah, man, I just think it's been exciting. So yeah, keep your eyes peeled. We don't know what's gonna happen, and this is just the first quarter of the season if you think about it. So we got a little bit of news, and it came from Perth, Australia. We got some UFC going down there. So my man Chris Osberg delivered a perfect statement to the UFC in a stunning first round knockout of seventh ranked light heavyweight Dominic Reyes at UFC Fight Night in Paris. The third ranked Osberg is now unbeaten in his last nine fights, stretching back to February 2022. The kickboxing fighter has cemented his position as the next man up in the division ahead of the next week's UFC 320 title fight and between my man Alkaleev and Pajeda. So there we go, man. We got the young bucks up here in the UFC. I remember Dominic Reyes a couple years back gave John Jones one heck of a fight. I think his leg was compromised in that fight as well. And man, he was really putting it to John. It even had you kind of questioning, has John Jones the one we seen being the young upstart that finally made his match? But seeing guys like excuse me, not Chris, but Carlos Osberg, um, running with a white hot streak right now, again of nine fights since 2022, is one of those things where the young guys in these divisions are really trying to get to the top. And I see that he's waiting for a potential matchup between either Pajeda or Akaleev. And I think that's going to be very exciting to see because the light heavyweight division do need um, some life injected to it. And let's see, man, because I think that young kid right there, Rumble, young man, Rumble. I would like to say, man, I'm excited that he got that first round victory as well. That really shows that he was ready, he was prepared, and he went out there with the game plan, search and destroy, as you would like to say. And very proud of that kid right there. So go out there and get that money, big dog. Um, the thing is that I also seen a lot of things going on where you have some UFC fighters in boxing. Um, But before we get to that, normally I don't like to share news of this type of magnitude, but let's talk about it, right? Because it is related to combat sports. So Rampage Jackson's son Raja arrested on assault charges. Raja Jackson, son of former UFC champion Quentin Rampage Jackson, has been arrested on a felony assault charge following a brutal attack of a pro wrestler. According to the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department website, Jackson was arrested and booked on Thursday morning and is currently being held on a $50,000 bond. No further details of the preceding case has been revealed yet. The arrest came nearly after a month. Uh, Jackson, which is 25 years old, was caught on video assaulting pro wrestler Stuart Smith, also known as Psycho Stu, at the Knockout X Pro Wrestling Academy in Los Angeles. Jackson entered the ring, slamming Smith unconscious, and continued to punch him. So, with those details, I would drop a little story real quick. So, a couple weeks ago, when that did happen, or let's say a month ago, so when that happened, I was at my job, and me and some of my coworkers like to exchange a lot of conversations about things like this. And for me, being a professional wrestler, I don't know all to be all, and or I don't know every statute of the law. I would just say at that time where they asked my opinion, absolutely, and I still stand on it. That man is absolutely 100% liable and should pay restitution for everything he has done for that man, regardless if it is to be time in prison or not. That's up to the courts to decide, regardless of who's really in accountability and all. The reason that I said that at that time, I'll be very surprised or shocked if they arrested him is because that with a $50,000 bond, that saying right there is that we had to do this because of the public outcry. And there's nothing wrong with that. I think people a lot of times feel like once someone's locked up, that's the end all be all. But you got to remember, this man will have a time in court to be able to tell what his side of the story. Video and in the moment reactions always jades our mind's perspective of what really occurred, and the details and the facts will be in court. And I think that's the important part. In order to get the results you need, you have to at least take the efforts and steps of the getting the attorneys involved, and I think that's the right measure of where they're going, especially for the wrestler that was attacked. Really briefly, man, I would just say that with this, the bail was set low. Of course, he can be able to get out on this. We will still see what happens in court, but I would say that without question, that man should pay for that man's recovery. Um, any time of work he may have lost, any medical treatment he has to go through, because that is horrible what he did to that man. I think as a performer, knowing that that man allowed him in the ring, I don't for it. And they, see, that's the thing I think a lot of people was trying to uh, go at me about, and I'm like, guys, look, if I know that I personally knew you or understood you in the back, like let's say I'm in the back behind the wall, right? There's none of your concern as a fan member or anybody in that crowd should be concerned of what we do behind there. That's our area. So if I were to see someone behind there, then yet they come in the ring, regardless, I would tell someone not, right? In my mind, you could tell he recognized he know who he was. Halfway through the slam, that's where things got real to him, and you could tell. Again, this is my perspective. Allegedly, that's when he realized this is not what I thought it was until he blacked out, right? So, because experience will let you know in wrestling, nobody grabs somebody like that in a professional match in any type of setting. I don't care if you are a UFC fighter. They do not handle us like that, and vice versa. We can handle ourselves as well. So you wouldn't see that in any type of real wrestling setting in any match. That's again taped or pushed by a major promotion because it will make the wrestler look ridiculous. I'm just gonna be realistic. that if anybody could come in there and handle a wrestler like that, then we have no place to even wrestle. But yes, I just think that we shall see how they proceed in this matter. But like again, I stand on the fact that I say that um this could have been avoided in so many different ways. A receipt is not do something later on that had nothing to do or elevate where it went to. Good example. If me and somebody was arguing and I slapped you, that don't give you the right to come back and shoot me. Like how did we get there? You know what I'm saying? And I think that's the problem I had with. I felt like Psycho slapped him literally. You should have just punched him back and got it over with. If they would have done that, no harm, no foul. And I think we should have moved on. But I think that was the problem. And that's just again, my opinion. A couple of things really quick. I've seen that when it comes to combat sports, let's keep it to where Vandalay Silver, yeah, Vandalay Silver, one of the most popular fighters of early mixed martial arts, receives treatment in a hospital Saturday after he was knocked out in the aftermath of an exhibition boxing match in uh we're not going to do that. Paulo. San Paulo. Was a Silva, 49, was disqualified in the fourth round for throwing illegal headbutts against 50-year-old fighters. Immediately after the bout, members of both fighting camps entered the ring and started an ugly post-fight brawl. During the scuffle, Silva got hit with a right hand and crumbled to the ground. Now I did see that highlight, and man, that was scary. I don't laugh at any of these two gentlemen. I laugh at my um horrible pronunciation of names. But it was vicious, man. And for all those camps to get in there like that and to start fighting each other like it was just a bar fight showdown, that was ridiculous. I think that at professional levels, there should be more security being in there, getting more control of that because it went on for a while. Even when Vandalay was knocked out, they had to drag his body, which was unconscious, out of harm's way because they would not stop fighting. I think that was a very horrible display of lack of control. It's so many levels of that was bad work. And I think you guys um owe it to yourselves to next time be more professional, especially in the exhibition. It shouldn't have got that deep. I don't understand why we're doing headbutts, but that's the nature of the fighter. No excuse should have been made. I'm pretty sure he won't make any, but I hope that he does recover. And yeah, man, hope he recovers from that. 'Cause it was a pretty tough thing to see. And then right here, we got the undisputed world heavyweight champion Alexander Usyk has warned Jake Paul he would be waiting in the cage if the YouTube turned boxer had the courage to face him once the Ukrainian eventually retired from the ring. And Paul, who has beaten former world champion, heavyweight champion Mike Tyson, no, he didn't, on points in an eighth round bout late last year before defeating Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. in June, is set to take on reigning WBA lightweight champion Javante Tank Davis in the exhibition match in November, which will be broadcast on YouTube. My thoughts: I would love to see Usyk take Jake Paul into the octagon and have a bout. I would think that would be awesome because there's no way in God's green earth Usyk will throw a fight against Jake Paul regardless of the money. I even seen reports, and again, it could be very much true, is that Canelo is now at that time of his career, he would consider doing an exhibition against a Jake Paul. And yet we have the current WBA lightweight champion taking time away from scheduled opponent fights that he should be taking on to fight this YouTuber. The question is, how much is the price that you're willing to pay for your legacy to be ruined? Messing around with these people that's not going to matter in any type of real setting when it comes to your sport. as a professional wrestler, ours is again very much in every shape, way, or fashion a grown person soap opera. It really is. Because I'm not gonna call what I do is fake script. No, I'm tired of. I hate that so much. I really do. Because if you believe that, then why waste your time watching it? Wouldn't that make you kind of not necessarily intelligent enough to not watch it and enjoy it? You are enjoying it. I would say the same about Jake Paul. I'm not mad at him. I'm not. I just do not like the fact that people don't know the history of boxing and of UFC enough to know why we shouldn't be celebrating people like him. And Walter said Paul has his hands in too much. Choose a sport and excel there. I'm tired of seeing him everywhere. Hey, I can I believe in your sentiments, Walter. I really do. And here's how we do that. Here's how we do that to everyone in knockout hour. For all you knockaholics. We gotta treat him seriously, and Javante need to handle that business and knock him out. That's what you got to do. You have to show them why you are the best. See, again, man, it's. I think like that's the problem where we are today. Money is at the highest commodity for everybody. That is the profession of the sport, and I can see someone's legacy like a Terrence Crawford. It's easy for somebody to say right now he wouldn't take that fight, but we don't know what somebody like him would do in 5 years. Let's say he retires. We do not know that. But I would say if you have that chance, you got to go for it and do what you got to do. Because for me, the only way you get rid of people like Jake Paul in boxing is if you put him down in the ring in front of everybody to see. Because these younger fans that don't admire the past as much as we do. And I say that here because the ones that listen to the show, you obviously have a well-versed history to know that, that's why you come here every week, right? It's not like we're talking about something that's happening currently. But I would say that like Jake Paul, be very careful of this success you ask for. Because sometimes those crowns could be a little too hard to carry. Now I'm very proud of the success you have achieved in your life. Because a lot of people don't realize that running a business is tough, very demanding. So just because he's putting in time in the ring doesn't mean he doesn't put in just as much time to bring you the entertainment, bring you the sponsorships and the deals he has to make. I commend that all the way. That's without question. I think people should applaud that. But what I say is be very careful of trying to rewrite history to make you look like the ultimate winner when being being a lifelong fan, I know in my heart, I believe that something ain't right about your fights, bro. Something just ain't right. I don't care how long I can be out of wrestling ring. Wrestling's still wrestling. I know the moves. I know the beats. I know what to do. You can see someone like Ric Flair. God willing, if somebody gave him a chance to wrestle today, if he have enough enough juice to go 5 minutes, that man would know to do every single thing that he did in the past. It wouldn't be like he had to think about it. So do not tell me Mike Tyson, which I seen several times early in that fight, go right back to that mode of I know he was about to do this thing, and then you look like you said something to him and he stopped. To me, I'm sorry. You just can't take away muscle memory. It just don't go away like that. That's just me. Anyway, that's enough of my rambling on that. But we will get more news as we get closer to the Jake Paul and Javante Davis exhibition fight, as well as we're going to have Floyd Money Mayweather going against Iron Mike Tyson, which, again, take it how you want. It may be a money grab. Hey, I may be all for it because a brother love him some Mike Tyson. I'm just me. All right. All right, so we're going to get to some WWE, get to some wrestling. And let's go ahead and get to the results of Monday Night Raw before I go on and get some opinions, details, facts, things you may like to hear. But we start out the show. It's not so much of a match, but they're building up for Survivor Series as they've been doing the past couple of years. They like to have champion versus, well, excuse me, at Crown Jewel. Um, they like to do champion versus champion matches. So they had a little back and forth going with Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes. Of course, Cody Rhodes coming back after a match with Drew McIntyre that a lot of people seem to feel like it was underperforming. That may be very possibly true. We do see how also with Seth Rollins coming out from a good to great storyline that was a way to get AJ Lee back in the WWE the right way with Becky Lynch in a four-person match that past show as well. I like how we still had the transitions that the champions are facing off and it's saying, hey, who is the one that runs this company? But me personally, and this is one of my things, I always feel like that the WWE championship is always the superior championship because that right there is the one that's always been carried on since its inception. Being the WWF, that is. So we will see these two showdowns. Cody brought out the big old ring. And of course he had his cronies and his goonies, Seth and all that. Well, they laughed when they said he had his goons. I would say that sometimes, being a babyface, you have a very select few words that will resonate to people, and so you got to try to be creative. Because I myself have been trained not to curse as a babyface. Heck, not to really curse at all in wrestling. Shout out to you, Jeff Rudd. I love you to death, and I do see why he says that. We appeal to an audience of so many people, and s- and I think that, as Brian stated earlier, being a true professional means always stick to the rules because if you do, no matter however long you be in this game, you will always be able to work anybody and given that chance to have longevity in your career. It's always the little things like always shake everybody's hand if you respect them and when you greet them in wrestling and always try to shake their hand before you leave. Other things are etiquette. Um appreciate it. Heck no, man. I love y'all too much to mess up this beautiful country. I would say add me in on the money side, but no, that's not everything. But I do believe that in wrestling, always be there to help the promotion. That means if you need to tear down the ring or build it up before the show, be accountable. Hold yourself accountable first and foremost. If you're not going to be on the card that night, then be available. Hey, where do you need me tonight? Do you need me to help here? Do you have something for me here? Because that shows that you're willing to put in the work to earn the opportunity. So I think in wrestling, that's a lost art. Is that again sticking to the things that wrestling is built off, and it's the structure of you're entertaining so many people out here. You have people that's not even let's not even say churchgoers. Let's say people come there with their children to get away from their problems. So for these hours we have you to entertain you. We're trying to let you drop your problems at the door so you can have a good time and enjoy yourself. Scream, yell, boo, whatever, hiss, oh, all that stuff. Because that energy fuels us to go even harder or give everything we got to really push ourselves in that match. So as the crowd gets louder, we fight big, and we go everything for that moment and ultimate top part of that match. Boom, and we're go ahead and we're selling this dispute. The thing I like to know is that at least with every match, I watch my mouth because I know there's so many children out there that admires what I do, and I don't want to get in the impression that they've learned that their favorite wrestler is out here talking nasty and talking crazy in front of them. Now, of course, I'm an adult. God knows me. He knows my heart, my soul. We all say things throughout our day, and hey, I try to be as very clean as possible online. because I don't think people uh, should be cursing and using foul language as much online. But I do believe in wrestling. To have people like Cody is refreshing because if he does curse, and he's done it a couple of times, it's at the highest level of festivity he done found himself at that certain moment. And I think, like, even with my character, I still haven't found a way or a cause in my career to feel like, hey, I'm gonna turn around and say this right here out loud. Because I laugh at myself in wrestling where I would say things like, I'm gonna kick your butt. If you go back and listen to my promos, y'all, go back and listen to my promos. You will find that I will always find a way to curve what I'm saying because, again, I don't know whose child is listening. I don't know what fan is listening. And I have a lot of good people in my life that uh, they don't deserve to hear me speaking like that, especially like for a wrestling show. But I do like that about Cody. That's to me is a very old school, very subtle thing that I do appreciate in today's wrestling, especially with all these youngins out here trying to think everything I go 100 miles per hour. Too old for that, man. And wrestling, I am. Again, not the years. I'm just my age. All right. But then we had a no DQ 6-man tag team match between the War Raiders and Penta versus the New Day and Big G. Uh, I do like how Grayson Waller has something to do right now. I still believe that Austin Theory has something to do with division. Watch. I'm calling this now, y'all. I really strongly believe Austin Theory is going to appear with division. I just got a gut feeling. I really do. Keep your eyes peeled. Takeaways from this, I think it's time for us to go ahead and move Penta more into a serious role, even more of a potential championship push. I think they need to add layers to him as a character. Right now is the time to end this story. Let's move on. We got Bailey versus Roxanne Perez, and your winner is Bailey, as she as well is transitioning to working a different side of her skills and her abilities. She came out to hug her. She came out. She wanted people to hate her. I don't think her work as a heel is really good because she's just naturally somebody you want to cheer for. I think it's really hard for her to be convincing because um, the fans feel like they have been with her on her journey, climbing through the uh, the walls and the limitations. It feels like you won't been on that trip with her. This past weekend up here at BWA, this one thing I noticed. It's not the promoter's fault, but this crowd loves and enjoys every single one of us that goes out there and performs. So it's very hard for a crowd like that to understand the antagonist protagonist concept. Like, hey, this guy is not necessarily really good, and this person is trying to work hard for you guys to win this match, right? It's very, very hard in wrestling, very hard as a baby face to get over. And the reason why is because, especially in the day, um, people don't try to show you so much admiration in the moment. They want to be able to have somebody else start it up for you, right? Now, as even a heel, I recommend for the youngers out there, a lot of you work babyface first, please, because I think a lot of guys that don't understand if you're looking to do moves and you want people to admire what you're doing and all the little cool stuff you worked on in practice, then you need to be a babyface. Because you work a match with TKO, and that's what me and Antonio did. We did something called storytelling because he gave me an opportunity before, or BWA did. Now he gave me an opportunity to fight him, and I came short. However, I'm still not done with what I was able to do in that match because they respect Antonio at this point, but I made them cheer because I wanted them to realize I'm fighting hard to win this title for me and to get rid of this guy, Antonio, because they need someone to overcome and achieve. And I'm going to do that. If they keep giving me these chances, it's going to happen. And I think Bailey can do the same thing as well. So we'll see where Bailey's character goes in the future as they add another layer to her character, and I think babyface is the route she should stay. Then we got Rusev and JD McDonough, and your winner is Rusev by submission. Rusev working with the young guys, I think it's a pretty good thing. With the Judgment Day, I think that was a good move. You got LA Knight, yeah, versus Jay Uso. Jay Uso coming with the victory as they're trying to slowly, it seems, to make him seem like a young Roman Reigns going through turmoil and battling everything's going on in his life right now. So starting to show little shades of possibly a young Roman Reigns being developed here. And then you got the match of the evening. You got Rhea Ripley versus Oscar, and your winner was Rhea Ripley. After the matchup, Oscar finally turns on Io Sky and leaves Rhea looking like a Smurf with all the dye she spit it out, which that's the most I've ever seen on in any match in one time or one opponent in my life, and that was a lot. But that was a fun, exciting show for Monday Night Raw. I do think that the intensity is missing. I think it's sometimes they did a good job of having matches this week, but I think the intensity of the story of what they're telling don't seem so real to me. I think they need to get more personal. I think they need to make me invest more as a fan because honestly, the show is almost repetitive. We got SmackDown. We got the Street Profits versus Melo Dome Miz, and your winners were the Street Profits. And after that, you had the appearance of the Wyatts. I think it was a No More Contenders match. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not interested in the Street Profits right now because y'all found a way to make me not interested. You don't want me to cheer you guys. You want me to. I don't know. I'm confused. Then you had Julia and Kiana James versus B Fab and Michin, and your winners was Julia and Kiana James. Then the match of the evening. And I would say this from the bottom of my heart. Thank you, WWE, for giving this young man the spotlight to tear it up. Cause that boy is bouncy. That's right, man. NXT Javon Evans stepped up to the US Championship Open Challenge from Sami Zayn. And he went out there and tore the house down. Tore the house down. Man, Rumble, young man, Rumble. As I've seen you grow up in the wrestling ring from 14 to now out there as a young OG in the WWE, man, we are so proud of you, bro. We really are. I'm so proud of your parents every time online, just showing how much they see in your passion and just seeing the joy in your face, man. It makes everybody here that supports you in North Carolina everywhere in every promotion you have touched, you have had nothing but remarkable words being said about you. Even though you fell short against the United States champion Sami Zayn, man, I've heard where even Shawn Michaels recently gave you the most over pitch I ever heard for anybody in a long time, and that says a lot. So for you out there, everybody that has a dream, just say, hey, I want to be like a young Javon Evans. You can never be too young and you can never be too late to go out there and be one of the greatest. And I think the world of that kid. And I would love to have him on. I'm pretty sure I could probably get the young OG on sometime. Not no guarantees, but if you like it, let me know. Shout out in the comment section if you want the young OG on the knockout hour. Of course we do, right? Because the knockouts out here, we want that. We need that. I'm gonna see if I can get in touch with Javon if he want to drop by and see if we got a couple minutes to bring some of uh, his game on the show. Let's keep it real, man. He's out there killing it. And then we had the women's championship match between Tiffany Stratton, Nia Jax, and Jade Cargill. All right, let's get to that real quick. Your winner was Tiffany Stratton. She retains. And a lot of people online is really giving the referee a hard time. Guys, relax. Mistakes happens. And yes, in our business, I think we already know again, if you watch our product on a weekly basis, I'm pretty sure you kind of know what we do. It's not always picturesque as you would want it. Obviously, you seen Jade was busted open by the steel steps Does that make Naya a bad or dirty worker? Absolutely not. Could things have been done differently? Of course. But we have to realize, man, let's say that in this case, Jade is able to get medical attention and she is fine. Nia Jax is also as well seen to be okay, and Tiffany Stratton was able to compete and come back and defend her title. Thank you for putting on a great match and entertaining that crowd that evening. Even though the expectations of what they thought were to be, you still went out there and done a phenomenal job. And so that's the way I would end our wrestling talk when it comes to the WWE. And I would like to sit there and again just be so grateful and honestly from the bottom of my heart to thank God that he given me an opportunity to wrestle this weekend. Um, I know everybody out there facing so many adversities throughout their weeks, and it's a little difficult to keep being able to get through. But I've had the help of so many good people in my life, like my homeboy Wesley Snow, giving me so much help whenever I needed it. So many people gave advice to me my past week. Of course, DC, Sayani, other people in my life I love and admire, especially my wife. I had to make a lot of hard decisions this week. And I do believe that I've made the right one for what it's worth because I always work hard at what I do. And I do believe that God is going to see my path and know that I'm doing this because I believe it's right. And going into that match, I carried that even into that bout, knowing that win, lose, or draw, I know my family's got my back and I got something to come home to, as well as my knockouts. Because right here it says, "See you next month, brother. Go U.S. Air Force." That's right, baby. Proud America's force. Yes, sir, baby. Absolutely, absolutely. Keep fighting hard, as we're gonna keep fighting hard here at the Knockout Hour. That's right. Go with United States Air Force. Man, we love you and thank you guys for being back, man. Absolutely. All of y'all came back home. That's how we do here at the Knockout Hour. We knock it out for sure. And thank you, Walter, again, man. I love you, bro. You always are here as the lead knockout, right? But everybody out there, my name is Teddy Ireland. If you want to be able to follow me online on social media and all that good stuff, it's TKO336. Check out my latest matches. Please go check out my latest matches. I want you guys to be able to see who I am, what I do, and how I get down. I also am an owner of a professional wrestling company named Icon Professional Wrestling. If you're looking for sponsorships, sort of those things where you want to get your logos, your company information out there, hey, let's get connected. Because as well as right here at the Knockout Hour, we're right here in 250,000 strong worldwide tuning in as you crazy, lazy, crazy, not excuse me, not lazy, but crazy knockouts out there doing it every single Monday and killing it as the week goes on. As I stated earlier in the show, if you guys are looking and interested in checking out some good old wrestling tonight, it's on Netflix right now live. Monday Night Raw's going ahead, getting it in Raleigh, North Carolina. Shout out to, again, I know some people out there was able to do some work, and I'm proud of those guys and ladies out there in this great state out there getting that chance. But as for me, the rest of the week, oh man, exciting things happening in my life, and I'm ready to, hey, again, knock it out as well as everybody else. I want you guys to go out there, go get that money, go get that paper. Make sure you kiss those babies and make sure y'all squeeze them tight because, hey, on this show, we're going to keep elevating, we're going to keep growing, and I'm dang sure going to be back here next week to tell y'all what went down here in the combat world. So to Brian, to Walter, for all you out there, the knockouts, I love y'all. I'll see y'all next Monday. Peace.
What you looking at, boy? What you looking at? I got a TKO on wherever the fool is at. What you looking at, boy? What you looking at? Got two TVs of my own, I don't need a vet.
Hold up, no sir. Step into the mic, bring me closer. Sabotage back in the lab, and to stop that you gonna have to go through both. That swole up. Anytime I pull up the bars, I buck up my shoulders and pour the heart. Word to God, my gears push to start a feature, but my skill set a la carte. Woo! You don't understand. I got some sins in one palm of my hand. Balls are right rigid and bodies get numb every time I demonstrate the main rule of thumb.